This is Johnny, $5 a day dividends. This is my deep dive into my $48,000, $489 dividend portfolio. I am going to take you now to my holdings, go over my 19 holdings, just give you a quick walkthrough on all of them. It's going to be a deep dive, so I'm just going to go over each position and just give you the bullet points on everything so that way you know where I'm coming from with this. Just to start, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Investing involves risk, and previous performance does not guarantee future results. Before investing, do consult a financial advisor. Let's start. JPM is JP Morgan Chase, which is the largest bank in the world. Currently, I have 8.45 shares. My average cost is $218.50. It is currently trading at $297.72. It is actually down a little bit. It was trading closer to about $320, so it might be time to buy some more. As you can see there, that is the 52-week low. 52-week high was $337.25. This has actually been, for share price appreciation, my strongest position until recently. Right now, my total return, which is my share price appreciation and dividends, is 39.09%. It is not a big dividend payer. Currently, my dividend yield is 1.98, and it has a dividend growth rate. Currently, on my 3-year dividend growth rate of 10.01, so it is pretty strong for me. It is beating inflation, which is what you want your dividend growth rate for your stocks to do. Currently, I'm scheduled to get an annual dividend income of $50.70. It's not there to pay dividends. It's there to grow share price appreciation. Because originally I bought Chase down in the 160s. And my total dividends received is $52.26. My next position is Copa Airlines. Copa Airlines is a Panamanian airline that services North America, U.S., Canada, Europe, flies to Central and South America with its hub in Panama City, Panama. It is a stock that is currently undervalued according to a lot of different advisors. Airlines are a tough stock to invest in because they're cyclical. If inflation is high and money is tough, they're the first ones to get affected. If fuel prices are high, they're the first ones affected. This one has been a pretty strong position for me. Currently, I have 20.86 shares with an average cost of $100.96. It is trading at $134.01. Taking you over, it's been a pretty strong position for both dividends and share price appreciation. Currently, I have a total return of 39.65%. Dividends are pretty strong. This is usually a position that has a dividend yield in the 5% range. Right now, it's 4.82 just because the share price has been growing so high. I've started buying this at about $60, $65 per share, so the appreciation has been pretty strong. Currently, their dividend growth rate is 51.76. That's a 3-year dividend growth rate. The dividends have been pretty inconsistent over the past 5-10 years, but recently they've been pretty consistent. And with a annual dividend income of $134.34, so far I've collected $145.68. The next position I'm going to go over is Avi. Avi is a dividend aristocrat, which means they've been increasing their dividends for more than 50 years. Currently, I have 10.79 shares. My average cost is $185.65. It is trading at $219.26. It has been a roller coaster with this one, with the call for healthcare costs to go down, and for the cost of pharmaceuticals to go down. The share price has been rocky at best. Currently, I have a total return of 22.04%. Dividend yield is pretty strong at 3.17%. Dividend growth rate of 3 years is 6.56%. For a dividend growth rate, you'd like to have it over, you'd like it to be beating inflation, so that way your money is growing faster than what inflation is. And my annual dividend income for Avi is $74.67. And so far that has paid me $78.82. The next one is a ETF. An ETF is a basket of stocks. DGROW is a basket of stocks that specializes in dividend growth. Currently, I have 32.74 shares. My average cost is $60.40. It is trading at $71.19. This is more about dividend growth than dividend yield. It has still been a pretty good position, pretty consistent position for me in terms of total return, 20.85. The dividend yield is 2.03%, but the dividend growth rate is 7.11. And my total annual dividend income with this will be $47.47. And my total dividends received are $58.95. The next stock is Altria. Altria is tobacco products, cigarettes, and also any non-tobacco products. I have 39.07 shares. My average cost is $53.22. The share price, what it's trading at currently, is $61.91. This one here has been really strong in terms of a dividend yield, not so much in terms of dividend growth or share price appreciation, even though that's been okay with that. My total return has been 25.51%. with a dividend yield currently of 6.95%. Dividend yield has been inconsistent. It's been all the way sometimes up to 9%. Sometimes it's been in the 5s. It depends on the share price. The current dividend growth for 3 years, the 3-year dividend growth rate is 4.12, so it's still beating inflation. And my annual dividend income for Altria is $165.66. And dividends received so far, $190.84. These 5 stocks and ETFs are all quarterly payers. They pay 4 times a year, every quarter. The next 4 I'm going to go over. SPYI is a monthly payer. It is the NEOS S&P 500 High Income Fund. It tracks the S&P 500, the top 500 companies on the market. Currently, I have 72.34 shares. My average cost is $48.80. It is trading at $52.52, so it does have some share price appreciation, but that is not the main goal of this. The main goal of this is dividends. My total return is 20.34%, which is still pretty strong. The dividend yield is 11.74. This fund has only been around a few years, so it does not have a 3-year dividend growth rate yet. But it is looking at an annual dividend income of $445.61. I do have another video that just goes over the month, how this pays monthly and what I've received monthly. Currently, I've collected a total of $448.99. The next one I'm going to go over is a weekly payer. It is QDTE. It is the Round Hill Innovation 100 ODTE Covered Call Strategy Fund. It pays weekly. This is a fund that's basically for dividends. If you're looking for share price appreciation, this one is not it. I currently have 110.03 shares. At my average cost is $35.47. It is trading at $30.83. As you can see, my market return is down $510.54. but my total return is up $556, $564.97. My market return is down 13.08, but my total return is 14.48. The dividends make up for the loss in share price appreciation. The dividend yield currently is 46.63%. This is another one that does not have enough of a track record for a 3-year dividend growth rate, but the annual dividend income is expected to be $1,572.33. This is a weekly payer, and currently I've collected $1,075.51. The next two positions are newer positions. GDXY is the YieldMax Gold Miners Option Income Strategy Fund. This one I currently have 114.61 shares. My average cost is $15.88. With the uncertainty about the dollar and inflation, gold has skyrocketed. It is on fire currently. This particular fund is trading at $18.15, so I am getting the best of both worlds. I'm getting share price appreciation and dividends. As you can see here, in a short amount of time, my total return is $423.63, which means my total return is 23.33, which is really strong. I am I want to actually raise up my daily allotment into this fund. I like to take it to $6, maybe $7 a day into this fund. And this one here has a dividend growth rate of 44.77%. Another one that does not have a 3-year dividend growth rate. Currently, I'm scheduled for an annual dividend income of $915.73. A pretty good position considering I've only been in this fund since basically November. And so far I've collected $164.47. The last ETF in my taxable account is Chippy. This is the YieldMax Semiconductor Portfolio Option Fund. This is the semiconductor companies, the NVIDIAs, the AMDs, Microsoft, the ones that do not pay a ton of dividend income. But with this fund, it does. It's going to be. This has been a good combination of growth and dividends. Currently, I have 11.45 shares. I currently own them for $56.89. It is trading at $59.78. This is actually down because a couple of days ago it was actually up trading closer to 62. As you can see there, that was actually the 52-week high was $62 even. I've only had this position since just before Christmas, and this is already a pretty strong total return of 8.71. Current dividend yield is 28.53. Another one that does not have enough of a shelf life for a 3-year dividend growth rate. But it's a small position so far, and currently that is going to schedule to pay me $197.28 in dividends, which so far collecting $23.66 in dividends so far. Let's take you to my Roth IRA, where everything is growing tax-free, but this is based going in on funds that what you're putting in has already been taxed, so everything here is going to grow non-taxed. QI is another NEOS fund. This one here tracks the NASDAQ 100. Currently, I have 57.04 shares. This was another one I was doing $5 a day into, but since I am moving my positions in my Roth IRA from Stash to SoFi, this has been on the back burner waiting for that transfer to finally complete. I have 57.04 shares. My average cost per share is 53.27. That is the share price where that is trading at currently. My total return so far is 7.03%. The dividend yield on this is actually better than what it is for SPYI. This is actually at 13.88. This is another one that doesn't have enough of a track record for a 3-year dividend growth rate. But this, I'm looking at an annual dividend income of $425.52. The next ETF, the next basket of funds that I'm looking at is FDVV. This is the Fidelity High Dividend ETF. This one here, I have currently 48.77 shares. My average cost is 47.49. That is what it's trading at, is 57.24. This has been a really good fund, not so much for dividends, but pretty good for dividend growth and also share price appreciation. Going through, my total return with this is 24.83. I've had this fund since probably mid-2024. It's been a pretty consistent performer for me, with a dividend yield of 2.86. The dividend yield on this will vary. It'll go between the high 2s, low 3s. Pretty good dividend, 3-year dividend growth rate of 9.80. And paying me annually $79.98. So far, I've collected $99.56 in dividends. The next fund is the Amplify International Enhanced Dividend ETF. This is more to international stocks. Like to be diversified. You'd like to spread yourself out, so that way if one stock, one ETF, or a couple of ETFs are down, you have some backup that is not going to tank your entire portfolio. Currently, I have 70.01 shares at an average cost of 37.26. Current share price is 42.33. And this one here has a total return of 15.07%. Dividend yield is 4.95. The share price has actually been on the rise, so the dividend yield has actually taken a little bit of a hit lately, so it's under 5%. That is looking at I think that is more of a 1-year dividend growth rate. The track record is just under 3 years for this, so I'm using that as a number. Paying me $145.62 in dividend income. So far, it had paid me $38.25. This is a monthly payer. It's scheduled to pay me next week for January. The next fund is Main Street Capital, a really good BDC. It's one of the most popular ones out there. Currently, I have 44.18 shares. My average cost is $52.55. The share price is $64.05. Currently, a lot of advisors are calling this to be overvalued. I still buy it anyway. As you can see, the share price appreciation is there. This has a total return of 31.57. Been consistent all the way through. I've had this since probably the mid-2024. Really strong dividend yield. I started buying this when it was down in the low 40s, so the yield on cost is pretty strong, 8.22%. Dividend growth rate, not so much. When it comes to the BDCs, the dividends they're consistent, but they're not going to grow so much, but it's still beating inflation. Maine pays monthly, but every quarter they do pay a special dividend every quarter. So that is, it's a really nice thing to see every quarter, that nice paycheck. And that looking at an average annual dividend income of $190.86. So far, I've collected $224.88 in dividends. Next is going to be the most popular dividend ETF out there, which is SEHD, which is the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF. I currently have 92.12 shares with my average cost of $26.43. It is currently trading at $929.14. Actually been pretty strong for share price recently. It's been flat for the longest time. Share price appreciation, it's okay. My total returns were 15.10. Actually, that was below 10% for about 2 years. This SCHD is more for dividend growth than collecting a lot of dividends. My 3-year dividend growth rate is 9.15. Scheduled annual dividend income of $96.73. So far, I've collected $118.09. This is the first stock that I invested in way back in August of 2023. Put $5 in and been going there ever since. The next one is a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust, AGNC Investment Corp. I've only had this a few months, but it's been a superstar for me ever since. Currently, I have 222.75 shares. In terms of share count, this is my number one position. It is trading at, I own it for $9.20. Currently, it is trading at $11.85. Really strong total return. I was really surprised at the total return. I figured this was going to be more of a dividend play, but this has really surprised me. Currently, I have a total return of 37.18%. The dividend yield is 12.21%. This one is a monthly payer. Dividend growth rate has actually gone down because I think there's been some dividend cuts in the past. So it does affect the dividend growth rate going forward. I have an annual dividend income of $320.76 currently. And so far I've collected $171.59 in dividends. The next stock is Dividend Restaurants. Dividend Restaurants is going to be your Olive Garden, your Outback Steakhouse, a couple other restaurants that they have under their umbrella. I really like this stock. I just do. My goal when I originally started my portfolio was to not invest in stocks that were over $100 a share. But this one stuck with me because I started buying into this when I was trading closer to a little over $100. Right now I have 12.65 shares. My average cost is $174.59. It is trading at $206.17. So it's been there for some share price appreciation. With inflation, the share price appreciation has gone up and down. It has not been consistent. Currently, my total return is 21.49. It's been stronger. It's actually been gaining the past couple of weeks. My dividend yield is 2.92. That can range. I've seen it up as high as the lower threes, 3.10. Or as low as 2.89 in that ballpark there. It has a really strong 3-year dividend growth rate of 54.51. And my annual dividend income is $75.90. This is another one that's there for share price return, not dividends. So far, I've collected $75.04. The next BDC is the biggest BDC on the stock market, which is Ares Capital. Currently, I have 113.23 shares. My average cost is $20.93 a share. It is currently trading at $20.78 a share. The BDCs were affected by the interest rate cuts. This was a pretty solid, strong position for me for a long time. Recently, the share price has taken a hit, as you can see. It has rebounded. It was trading closer to like $18.50, but my market return has come all the way back where I'm only down $16.98. That is my total return. And my total return is 9.26%, which is still pretty strong considering what it's gone through. My dividend yield on this is 9.19%. It is a quarterly payer. Dividend growth rate is still 3.71, so it's still beating inflation. And scheduled My annual dividend income is going to be $217.40. So far, I've collected $236.51. The next position is XDTE. It's the sister ETF to QDTE that's in my taxable account. This is the Round Hill S&P 500 Covered Call Strategy ETF. Currently, I have 53.66 shares in this. It is a recent position. I've only had it a couple of months. I own it for $41.94 a share. It is trading at $39.80 a share. This is another one that it is not there for share price appreciation. As you can see, my market return is down $114.83. But the dividends make up for it to the point where my total return is up 0.49%. Dividend yield is 36.35. This is a weekly payer, just like QDTE. Has not been around long enough for a 3-year dividend growth rate, and scheduled to pay me $775.39 in dividends. So far, I've collected $125 in dividends. Both QDTE and XDDE had a huge end of the year Christmas and New Year's dividend payout. That's affected the share price because it was doing okay for a long time, but that did knock down the share price. And the last position in my Roth IRA is XSCHG. That is the Schwab US large cap growth ETF. This is more of your heavy hitters, your Microsoft, your Apple, your Nvidia, your AMDs, your Metas, your Googles. This is going to be where they're trading at. This is more for growth. This is not a dividend payer at all. It has been down because those have been down recently. Currently, my total return has been 1.22, minus 1.22. I have not had this long enough. This is a quarterly payer. I have not had this long enough to collect a dividend. Currently, my annual dividend is 12 cents. Dividend yield is 0.36. I wanted some more growth in my Roth IRA, so I went to this fund. Just going to play it out and see what happens with this, whether this grows or not. My 3-year dividend growth rate on this is 6.85, and as you can see, it's only due for an annual dividend income of 7.53, and has not paid me a dividend. I'm going to take you now to my dashboard to show you, my complete dashboard to show you where I'm at in terms of where this portfolio is. My cost basis in this fund, my portfolio is $43,568.04. My market value is $48,489.37. That's my market return and total return. So far, most of my returns have been in dividends. My market return is 11.30. My total return is 23.85. That is my dividend yield, 12.25. Dividend growth rate of 9.49. Yield on cost. And my total dividends received. My annual dividend income is scheduled to be $5,939.48. That is $494.96 monthly, $114.22 weekly, and daily is $16.27. My goal with this is for this portfolio to pay me $35,000 a year. So along with Social Security, I have a nice chunk of change to retire in, or I can possibly do this in a country in Latin America where things are cheaper. And that is where I started from for dividends in 2023. 88 cents, 240 in 2024. Well, that was 2022, I'm sorry, 88 cents. 2023, $240.95. 2024, 1167 and 74 cents. 2025 where things really took off, 34.45 and 68 cents. And so far for January of 2026 is $615.52. If you like this video, if you like what I'm doing with my $5 a day, if you enjoy this content, please like, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.